Were you
Okay.
born blind or do you became blind all the way?
No, I actually wasn't born blind. I was diagnosed with cataract.
Oh, it wasn't genetic.
No, 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 and no one had any kind of disability. So it was real strange
Yeah, I
that
understand.
this one had to come out with it, or maybe they discovered because they discovered it when I was barely six
Quite
months.
early enough.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So it became sort of like a problem kind of for my family, or it brought in a confusion between my parents and the extended family. It's been like 10 years since I last visited an eye hospital.
How did they feel after the surgery? Did they tell you the
Oh,
story?
they were purely devastated, knowing that the surgery didn't resolve the problem. Yeah, they were purely devastated, and it became a matter of training up a visually impaired child.
Welcome to Liberators Network, where minds are free, where voices are amplified, where we break boundaries and inspire change. I am Chizoba Orji, your favorite visually impaired presenter. Today on the studio, I have a wonderful guest. She'll be telling us her journey into the visually impaired world. Her name is Mary Faith Ijiga. Mary, how are you doing today?
I'm fine. Thank you so much for having me.
I am
Your
very
show.
happy to have you in our studio today.
Thank you so much. I'm happy
Today
to
we'll
be
be
here.
looking at your journey into the visually impaired world. Were you
Okay.
born blind or do you became blind all the way?
No, I actually wasn't born blind. I was diagnosed with cataract.
Cataract
Yes,
at
yes.
what
Just I
age?
was below 1 year.
Oh, really?
Though, yes. So it was really a huge something for my family because
I understand.
my extended family, nobody was visually impaired. Nobody who had any
Okay.
other.
Oh, it wasn't genetic.
No, 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 and no one had any kind of disability. So it was real strange
Yeah, I
that
understand.
this one had to come out with it, or maybe they discovered it when I was barely six
Quite
months.
early enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it became sort of like a problem kind of for my family, or it brought in a confusion between my parents and the extended family.
Yeah.
So the extended family were like, don't take this girl to surgery, let her grow, she will outgrow it. It's just because they said my eyes were seriously shaking and shaking and shaking.
Shaking?
Yes. So they took me to several hospitals, according to what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my family, like I said, they were divided. They were like, let
Okay,
this
some
girl.
don't want you to go to hospital.
Yes, because the doctors were like, okay, this she's still young. Would we you the parents, you can stop her from growing up with this. So they were now like, we can remove cataract via surgery. And so my mom was like, okay, I don't want my child to grow up with this. While my auntie, till today, it still pains her,
Yeah.
it's still a kind of contention between my mom and my auntie,
Yeah.
because she's always like, I told your parents, I told your parents.
She was against it.
Totally.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. But when I was a year old, my dad had to agree that I should do the surgery, which I did. We're at General Hospital at Enugu.
General Hospital at Enugu.
Yeah, I think that's UETH. I think that's what they call it. Yes.
UNTH Enugu.
Yes, yes. So the doctor back then, he's late now because we became friends with him till he died. Yes. So Dr. Mora.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was the one who carried out the surgery, and unfortunately, the surgery damaged the eyes beyond medical repair. So while I was still seeing partial, there was no hope of a complete recovery.
So after the damage,
Scientifically
there is
at
no
that
way
time.
to make an amend after the damage to the eyes.
No. Because the eyes are okay, right?
Is it on the both
But
eyes or
yeah,
one?
on both eyes.
Okay.
On both eyes. But they didn't clear everything on my right eyes. Yeah. So as I was growing up, the left could see far better than the eyes, although both were very partial at the time. So I went to a normal primary school and nursery school. My dad, very huge support. My dad was, very, even till date, he's still
Okay.
like,
We'll come to that.
yeah.
We'll come to that.
Oh,
During
okay.
the surgery, during the surgery proper.
Okay.
Okay, after the surgery, how do your family feel?
Well, I was still.
When they discovered, okay, what did they tell you when you grew up? How did they feel after the surgery? Did they tell you the story?
Oh, they were purely devastated, knowing that the surgery didn't resolve the problem. Yeah, they were purely devastated, and it became a matter of training up a visually impaired child, which was never the plan. Until date, none of my siblings are visually impaired, just me.
Just you.
Yes.
Should I say sorry?
No. Please don't say sorry. I'm tired of hearing it. Don't say sorry.
It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. Now,
Yeah.
apart from that particular hospital that performed that surgery, did your
Okay.
family extended their hands to other doctors, hospitals, to make sure that you were fine?
We went to over a 1001 places, which I don't think is peculiar to me alone, because people would always tell you, there's this place, there's this hospital you can go to.
If
You
you
go,
go there,
yeah,
everything.
everything. So we did it. Went to all kinds of. Well, we even went to Guinness on Onitsha, yes.
Oh, wow.
And we even tried the herbal route. When I say herbal, I'm not talking about native doctor,
Yes,
witch
I'm coming to
doctors.
that.
And I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I understand. During all these meeting different doctors, did any of them suggest another surgery?
No.
They didn't.
Yes, because at first look, when immediately they just examine my eyes. They'll say, "Oh, you had a surgery," and I'll be like, "Yes, I did," and they'll be like,
Oh, no.
"This surgery damaged your eyes beyond medical repair." Because, like I said, the eyes are good, but what is connecting the eyes is I don't know. I've forgotten how what
Is
they
it
call,
the
because it's
optic
been.
nerve?
I believe so. Can't really say, because it's been a while since I
Okay.
visited the hospital. Yeah, so they were like the cells. Yes, that's supposed to give my eyes vision, that they damaged it.
That's the retina and I think the macula.
But I honestly don't have medical names for it anymore, because it's been like 10 years since I last visited an eye hospital. Yeah, so that's just what it has been for me. And yeah.
Okay. After the medical, do your parents try any spiritual centers in order to get healing for you?
As you're asking me this question, I'm just smiling because because we did. I was actually.
Uncountable or countable?
Oh, well, what can I say? I guess it depends. I guess it's relative when you say uncountable or countable. Yeah, it's relative. I was actually born in a Christian home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it became a matter of well, where do you believe you want to go to, where you believe in. So we went to play different churches, like some of these big name churches in the country. Yeah, so we visited them, and well, it's still what it is today.
No, I don't want to hear it is what it is. I want you to tell me what it is. What really happened in those churches? Maybe you can give
Okay.
me two or three, like prophecy, maybe what they ask you to do, or do any of them ask you to take olive oil?
You're asking me for a 31-year story, but so I'll tell you as much as I can.
Okay.
So yeah, we actually started going because when we're trying both the spiritual side of things and the scientific side of things, because even after the hospital tells us that, okay, we can't do this for your eyes, but we can help to maintain your vision. So they give me eyeglass and other vision aid.
It's,
Yes. So they still tell me, okay, we still go say, okay, we actually believe in healing, so let's go on and try this. So we travel all the way out of state, because I was actually born and brought up in Anambra State
Okay.
before my family relocated.
Okay.
So yeah, so we travel out of state, and sometimes so there was this one, I was actually partial back then. So this pastor finished praying for me, and then he raised up his finger and he was like,
How
"Oh,
many?
yeah, what's this?" And I was like,
You now say one.
yeah, and he really showed me four fingers, and I was able to count it. And that was actually late at night. And me, I was actually like, okay, is it that I can really see? Because I wasn't actually supposed to see it. And then I did, and everybody was clapping. But to my
And
surprise, when I woke up the same in the morning, because it's night and everything, when I woke up in the morning, I realized that it was still the same.
you
So
face your reality.
yes, yeah.
You
So
face your world.
whatever.
And by that time, you begin to ask whether the pastor used
What?
Ogrumaji on you.
Oh my god. Well, there's a lot then. There were places we went to. We had to buy anointing oil. So there's this one we even had to go to.
Just like I asked you,
We
did any
bought-
of them ask you to drink the olive oil?
No. We didn't actually go to those dramatic places.
Okay, go on.
But there's one we went to, and we were asked to buy the frame that carried the picture of the man of God. Anyone who has, gone there would know what I'm talking about. Yeah, but it wasn't actually. So, but we don't really believe in, when you hear about this miracle, you rush and go here, you rush and go there. So I don't really have a very dramatic story when it comes to my the spiritual side of my pursuit, or the pursuit
But
of my
the frame
healing.
that you bought, the man of God,
It
you
was very
bought,
expensive, by the way.
like how much?
As I then, they were selling it 8,000, 15,000.
Just to buy the picture of a man of God.
Yes.
And when you buy the picture of the man of God, you will receive your healing.
Yeah, you are actually supposed to.
And I believe by now you have received your healing. No, I'm just asking.
You can see for yourself, or you cannot see, but you know for yourself.
So,
Yeah,
having
yeah.
been disappointed a couple of times with all these make believe, I call it make believe there because they want you to
Okay.
believe. Yeah, haven't been disappointed. Is your faith reducing, or are you doubting the efficacy of miracle?
Frankly, I'm not. Yes, I'm not. I know everybody, like I said earlier, has their own story, but I'm not really doubting it. But I'm more like, I'm not the kind of person now that you tell me, come, let's go to this place, and I'll follow you. I'll not go with you. But I still believe 100% in miracles.
Can I just say that you have your stand because somewhere in your heart you don't want to let it look as if you are not
Believing God.
Yeah, you are not against God, or you are doubting God because you don't want to believe that miracle doesn't exist.
Oh, can I tell you this?
Okay, tell
I
me.
still pray for my sight.
Yeah, everybody do pray.
Like, when I say pray, like, I still believe in miracle. Like, I still pray for it. But like I said, I think I've like gone very far to kind of place my life or depend on it for my living, in the sense that I must get my sight, because that's what they make you feel like. They make you feel like your life is stalled, your life is over.
Don't you think that you are just believing just to keep faith alive and to carry on the daily
No,
activity?
trust me. If you still ask me for the alternative, which is to receive my sight, I'll go for that one. I won't even waste time. I'll go for it. And besides the churches, there have been some individuals that will tell me, God told me that you're going to receive your sight. Just keep coming. Let me be praying for you. So there's this one back then, very close to my house in Port Harcourt.
Yeah.
And he told me that, come, I'll pray for you. After 7 days,
that
You
you will see.
must receive your sight. It's a must. You must receive your sight. So I was not like, okay. So I'll now be going out of respect for him. Because there was a time I told my mom that I'm no longer going to the hospital. She was like, are you stupid? Don't you ever say something like that. You're crazy. Like, she was like, we're doing all we can for you, and you're telling us that you don't
You
want
need to
to
go.
fight for yourself again.
Yeah.
And
You are giving up.
yeah, it felt like I was giving up, but I was actually like settling with what I have and deciding that life must move on for
Yeah.
me, right? And so, but it actually wasn't like that for her. So she had to shun me, and there was this man of God that gave me his hanky. So he said, tie this hanky around your eyes. Said, if I am called by a man of God,
If I
called,
be a man of God.
you receive your sight in the morning. The hanky was not big enough to go around my face, but at least I was able to hang it on my ears and all. So I did it in the morning. I woke up and oh my God, like the sight was still there. And this is someone that I seriously believe is a man of God. And well, it's still not in my place, to say, okay, because you didn't heal me, that means you're not a man of God anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody has their calling.
That's why I
And,
asked you
yeah.
that question. Having seen all these disappointments of prophecy that they are giving to you, your belief in God or your belief in miracle, how strong is this up till now?
Frankly, it's difficult to believe at times.
Okay.
Frankly, yes.
Because I want you to
It's
face your
difficult to believe at
reality.
times. And, my, I'm going to say this, and it's not something that I like to talk about, but there was a particular time of my life that I didn't go to church for, I think, 5 years.
For
Yeah.
5 years.
Yes, I didn't go to church because the church is actually in a healing church. All I just wanted to go to do there was to worship, right? I just wanted a home church where I can go and worship God.
Okay.
Just my Sunday service, midweek service, and even join a service department. Yeah. But then every time they had a healing service, it turns out that everybody will start looking at me.
Yeah.
Everybody will be
You will be
looking
the
at
center
me.
focus.
Yeah, I'll be the center focus. And that started making me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Then after the service,
Everyone will looking
they
at
start
you.
throwing words at you like,
You don't have faith.
yeah, no, have faith. Next time it will be your turn. And I'm like, I just came here to worship. Just allow me to worship. So it happened like that, and that resulted to me worshiping online.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of going to a physical church.
You started
My
withdrawing,
faith in church is started
dropping.
started dropping because I hated it. Like, people just don't believe that you can have a life as a visually impaired person.
Yes.
And that's it's so weird and it's so strange.
Yeah, I understand you.
And it's painful too.
As a visually impaired person also, I understand everything you're saying.
It even got to a point I started facing neglect. Like, after church service, I would have to look for someone who would take me out, help me to get a bike. I'll go to church, I'll come back depressed. The sermon will be going on and I'll be crying. And I'm like,
have you ever had a
this is what
situation
I'm
whereby
going to
the pastor saw you and before you know what is happening, the sermon now changed to blind Bartimaeus and
Yes, obviously. I have. So that really affected me. And my mom would always be like, come and go to church. I'm like, oh, me, please, I'm busy.
Okay, at what
Yeah.
point do you decide to take a turnaround, like to face your reality? When do you decide to go for rehabilitation in order to be able to face your reality?
Actually, I've always faced my reality. It's just that my parents, while they're supporting you to face your reality, they still don't want you to give up on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yes. So, but I went to a normal primary school. I stopped being able to copy notes from the board at primary 5. So when I
Okay.
finished, even at that, my mom, till today, she's still like, it's still very difficult for her to accept my visual impairment. So she still tells me, you can be, she's not giving up on me. And but apart from it, she should I say, she wanted me to, like, let me put it how it is, in denial. Yeah, she wanted me to live in denial, but
Yeah.
that's not what it was.
Yes.
Thank God for my dad, who has always been very enlightened. So because immediately after my primary school, my dad was like, you go to immediately when you're done with your primary education, you will go to Oji River. You will go to Oji River. That was what he kept saying, because my dad is a retired police officer now. But during his service days, he used to travel. They used to post him here, post him there. So there was time he worked at this police college at Oji River. So I think that was where he found out about this special school. Yes. So he would always tell me, "You go to a special school, okay? You go to a special school." And after that, he bought everything that I used to go. My mom stopped me.
She couldn't believe it.
No, she stopped me from going to a special school.
That's what I mean. She couldn't believe that her daughter
Yes,
will be going
she could
there.
not accept it. Yes. So she was not like, you go to a normal school. So I had to wait for my younger sister, my direct younger sister, to finish her primary school. She and I, we gained admission into a private secondary school. My dad saw it and was like, no, I don't like this school. There's no competition. And you guys are coming first out of 5 students. And so I don't really like it. As for me, after reassuring my mom that they could take care of me, they knew nothing about special education. Yeah. So they were not like, okay, that was 2007, 2008. So they were not like, okay, you have to. My dad was not like, I'm going to take you guys to St. John of God Secondary School, which he did. And
St. John of God Secondary School.
Okay, yes. Okay, yes. So we went there because he said he always heard that they were doing good when going out for competitions and all that. Yeah. So which we went for that one. And after the admission, they were not like, your child can't do this. There are other visually impaired students here, all right. But this one has to go to a special school first. Yes, before she would be able to...
15.
Yes, to fit in, to be able to... By that time, my sister had already gone ahead of me. So that was my mom eventually...
accepting.
Yeah, eventually allowed me to go to Oji River. By then, it was already 2010. So I did a 1-year short course, then came back to St. John of God Secondary School. Yeah, I studied up until SS1. Then I moved to Lagos. Yeah, so it has always been... My dad has always been...
Okay, you moved to Lagos to further your...
Yes, that was where I wrote my WAEC and JAMB.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What was it like to be in a rehab school? What were you able to learn there that transformed your life or aided you?
Okay, so I didn't really I wasn't a border with other students.
Yeah.
Because my dad, when he took me there, he saw the condition of the place and he was like, no, I can't allow you to stay here. Yes. So we had to get one of the teachers, Mrs. Josephine. She's late now. So she was the one who started teaching me. So I would go to... We wanted to get her... We actually got her as a private tutor for me. Yeah, so that was the length my dad was, willing to go for me, which I really appreciate him for that. And that was what he did. And one thing that was actually surprising to me, I actually knew how to cook, right?
Yeah.
Because I thought I was doing it, and I was able to do that because I was partially sighted. So when I now went and saw purely visually impaired
person cooking, you are surprised,
and moving from one serious location to another one. I'm talking about far distance.
Yes.
And that really changed me. And well, I told myself that it's enough. Like, your parents have really pampered you enough. It's time for you to go out there, tell them that enough is enough. Because my dad was like, your mom would take you all the way from Oka to Oji River every day. And I was like, no. It got to a point, I told my mom, please don't come with me again. I have to be
Do it
going.
yourself.
Yes. And that was how I started going. The day my dad heard it, he nearly blew a gasket. But I had to convince him that, no, please, it's enough. I can go on my own. So that was how they allow me to start stepping out little by myself. If not before then, despite the fact that I'm partial, my dad wouldn't allow me. Yeah,
As a visually impaired person, have you been discriminated?
multiple times, more than I can count.
No problem. I would like to have all the multiple stories today. So
Oh
tell
wow.
us.
Okay. Let me start with this one. I remember vividly that I don't even know if I would ever forget it anytime soon. That was back in primary school. There was this classmate of mine. He used to be a very, very big bully. But his own
A
was...
boy?
Yes, a boy.
Okay.
Yes. So he would always be like, your parents are wasting their school fees sending you to school. Just go and sit down at home. Just go and sit down at
This
home.
is heartbreaking.
So that back then they used to tell us to buy, brooms, cutlass, and
Yes.
yes. So he would take my own and he would tell me that what am I using it to do? That I should give him. He wouldn't buy his own and his family wouldn't buy for him. Then when they buy for me, he would tell me that my parents wasted money doing this for me. They wasted money. I mean, your own classmates. There have been times when children, my sometimes junior classmates, they will call me Anya 440. Like they will follow me and be singing it. They'll be coming behind me as I'm going home.
Yeah.
They'll be coming behind me and they'll be singing it and be clapping like.
Oh.
Yeah, those were really heartbreaking moments. And there were times when someone said that I shouldn't be allowed to do something. That was actually in a church children setting. He said I shouldn't be allowed to do something. And right there in my presence, he called me incapacitated.
Incapacitated?
Yes. That was what he said, that she's incapacitated.
Some people are insensitive.
Really, I'm not going to disagree with you. So it was not, it was the way. So these are some of the ones that I have, faced.
Like I said, tell me more.
And well, growing up, there was this time when I was going to Lagos again.
Yeah.
I entered this bus. You are not taking me for free.
Yeah.
This man was throughout that journey from Port Harcourt.
The driver.
Yes, to Lagos. Was not like, I don't know why I carry this person. No, I don't know why I carry this person. No, which kind of thing? What did I do to you? I was just sitting at the back. I wasn't disturbing you.
You are not close to him.
No, I was not. Because me, I don't even like sitting close to the driver. I like staying with me for a far distant journey like that. Just like staying at the back, where if I want to sleep, I just rest my head forward and. So my God, do you know that till today, I'm still asking myself what made me keep quiet throughout that journey? Because maybe if it were me of today, I'm sure I would have
responded to him.
I'm sure I would have told him one or two kind words, colorful words. Let me put it that way. So there have been, I always see it as you being isolated in the midst of a crowd. Yeah, so there's some of them is in school. Like, there was this terrible, terrible event that happened between me and a girl who was helping me back then. I don't know who told her back in secondary school. I don't know who told her something about me, and I can't exactly remember what it was, but I know that whatever she was told was false. This friend of mine came, and instead of asking me what happened, is this what happened? And when I tried telling her, okay, wait, let me explain myself to you. I don't know what you're talking about, but let's go and meet this person. She was not like, I am helping you, and you're doing this, and you're doing that. Then she started pointing at me, started doing all sort of things. Like, this is someone that I'm way older than, but because we're classmates at the time, she felt like she could. And then I was offended, and I told her that, okay, you can, please go. You're already taking this further than it should go. And because she was already, be going, to touchy subjects like insulting me about my with my sight condition.
Yeah.
And she refused. She kept doing it, and I pushed her. At that time, she was asthmatic. So she fainted. And
What?
the entire school were like,
Oh, this blind girl.
yes, blind people, you guys are wicked. You guys are this. The class, my own JS2 class was divided. Some were with me, some were with her, but majority were with her. And I was not like, why would nobody even listen to me? Even those who were with me, because they knew they were in the minority, they would just come, they would just greet me, and they would, withdraw immediately. But I really thank God for this our copper teacher back then, or Mr. Udwak, who came, and he was now like, he had to speak to us. And he made sure that we had a serious reconciliation, and that was it for that. Me and the girl, we became friends again, and the entire class became unified. Then there's this very terrible one back in the same St. John of God Secondary School. Sometimes since you're visually impaired, I don't know what people really take you like. So there was this really junior student. I don't know what I can't remember. So she came to this class because I've always liked to, be alone, like look for a place where I can sit and reflect.
Yeah.
Because I'm more of an introvert. So, I like to. So sometimes I'll go to the class, just sit down there, doing nothing, just sitting down and just reflecting and everything. This girl came to my class one day and told me that she would beat me. She told me that she was going to beat me one day.
That's what happened.
That today is the day. I think it had a controversy or a conflict to do with her flax. I think a food flax that had to do with another visually impaired person. So she started threatening me. So I think they scolded her for using it without washing it. So I don't know how that thing was linked to me again. So this girl came to my class. Back then, I was alone, and I think I was listening to my notes, a recorded note. She was not like, I am here. It's time for us to fight. I didn't talk to her. Then she started pushing me, started touching me, started pushing me. She had a mango that she finished licking. She now threw the seed on me. I stood up. I grabbed her and I started beating her. So I started beating her, and she was not like, okay, please let me go. Please let me go. And I was like, I want you to leave me alone. You kept coming at me. You kept misbehaving. And that was how a teacher came. And when I told her what happened, I think the girl was nearly suspended. No, she wasn't, because it was still a government school by then. So, but she was severely punished for doing that. So I've really faced lots of discrimination, but mostly the one you face is like when you go out with your siblings, they come and they're talking to your siblings like they are not seeing you, as if you're not standing there.
Okay, maybe if you're working with your siblings,
Yes.
and maybe somebody wants to ask you something, instead of coming to you
To
direct.
me, they now start talking to them.
Yes.
Or especially the church I earlier mentioned. When my siblings are around, I go to church with them. Then they come and they want to make friends with my siblings. Then
Can
they
we
now
talk to her?
no, they don't act like I'm there. They don't even act like I'm there. Then they start talking to my siblings, start trying to make friends with them. So I was not like, oh, okay.
You're invisible.
Yeah, I'm invisible. But I've also gone to, these are just a few of them, where there are some places where I've seriously felt part of the crowd, like felt at home, yeah. But there's been a lot. So sorry if I can't remember, because I try not to keep most of this in my head.
Avoid
Yeah.
the
To avoid
depression.
to avoid thinking too much about them.
I
So I just
understand.
move on in spite of
Okay, let's
any
go
challenge.
into your education.
Okay.
Would like to know your journey, your education. Are you a graduate? Let's start from there.
Yes, I'm a graduate. I read Peace Studies and Conflict Resolution.
Peace and
Graduated.
conflict resolution
Yep. Graduated since 2020.
since 2020 from which
Yes.
university?
National Open University of
National Open
Nigeria. Yes.
University.
Yes.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
So, what's the journey like becoming a
Well,
graduate? Was it an easy journey for you?
well, frankly, I never knew that I would even go to university. It's not because my parents didn't have the money to sponsor me, but because I was having serious issues with my education. It was,
Issues like what?
but I think when I was in secondary school, I used to have this mental breakdown that seriously affected me.
What do you mean by mental breakdown?
I don't even know. It was not something that
Is
you know
it
you
out of
couldn't.
depression because of your sight?
No, not actually because of my side. There were a combination of other things. I knew I was having a mental breakdown back then. So sometimes I'll go to the class and they are teaching, and it's almost like I'm going crazy. So I'll leave the class and go straight to the hostel. So when I was about taking my junior WAEC, there was this time I came back because they said that okay, JS3 students you can go home, but immediately after Easter, return home Easter Monday. So and me, I was coming all the way from Port Harcourt because by then we'd already relocated to
Relocated.
PHS. So my mom, my dad, I mean, they would buy all these foodstuffs for me, buy all these things for me, and just for me to come back to school. And education is being difficult for me. So I had to. It got to a point. There was a time I was so sick. If you looked at my skin, it was as if I had a fire burn. Yeah, so that was just I just couldn't explain what was going on with me back then. I nearly called my parents and told them that I could not continue. That I wouldn't be able to continue because I just couldn't bear the fact that they were doing everything they were doing, trying their possible best to see me through school, and I wasn't able to, stay through one period before running to my hostel. So, back then, students who didn't understand what I was going through would, start saying, you're not serious with your education, you're not this, you're not that, you're not that. And, that was why I eventually left after SS1. So I told my dad that I needed to change location. I needed to go to...
That was when you traveled to Lagos?
Yes, that was when I traveled to Lagos. So I had to change location. It was very difficult. Even my mom, she'll come to visit me. She'll be like, what's happening to you? You're not looking good. And I tell her that I actually don't know. So yeah, that's it was really a serious thing.
So how
back then.
were you able to cope in the university?
Well, university time, in short, I had let me say, a learning disability, although I was very good with cramming, so by the time, I think that was when I went to Lagos, thank God for one of the teachers who helped me out. And
what's the teacher's name?
That was Mr. Felix and
Okay, Mr.
Auntie
Felix
Uzo, yes,
and
yes,
Auntie Ozo.
yes.
Okay.
So they really, helped me out, and that was what helped me to overcome my fear for education. And well, that was how I was able to gain admission into the university. I wrote my JAMB, wrote WAEC, and at that time I got 242.
Yeah, because I wanted to ask you whether you remember your JAM score.
Yeah, I got 242 back then.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But Unilag wasn't giving admission because I had just one sitting and there was no mathematics in it. Yeah, so I said, okay, instead of waiting for next year, I'm just going to go up to Open University, and which was what I did. Came back home to Port Harcourt and started my education. And well, eventually I got into writing.
Into writing?
Yes, I'm actually a writer. I've been a writer for 10 years.
Yeah?
Yep.
Wow.
Thank you.
So how many books have you published so far?
Okay, I officially started publishing back in 2021, and I've published 6 books so far.
6 books. All your
Yes.
books are on where? On Amazon?
Both on Amazon, Seller. Yeah, and
So
other
can you tell
sites
us the
too.
name of your books? And
Okay, well, I write political and military thriller, which
okay.
is not surprising given my background, the family I come from. So, one of them is Jungle Justice.
Jungle Justice.
Yes, then I have another one, Right on Time.
Right on time. Okay, what is
Yes,
Jungle Justice talking about?
Jungle Justice actually shows the struggles of our Nigerian military, the struggles they go through, and about purely about terrorism, the Boko Haram, and it also begs the question: is the government complicit in what's happening? And it also features the real life story of Deborah Samuel. So I actually published that book on the 2 year anniversary of her death, which was the 12th, May 12th, 2024.
You published the particular book.
Yes, that's Jungle Justice. That's a political and military thriller.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do interviews, and luckily for me, I have access to some soldiers and people that I can ask questions that I can give me some insider details. So
But is it not surprised that a visually impaired girl is a writer, not just a writer. Instead of writing based on advocacy for persons with disability, you are now advocating for justice or for military and police
Ye-
brutality also.
yeah, well, I just didn't want to be any kind of writer. And my journey to writing political and military thrillers is a long journey, in the sense that the kind of course I studied
Peace
back
and
in the
conflict.
university, yes, peace studies and conflict resolution. So we read a lot about conflict, national, international, and even up to the global stage. We even studied the Second World War. So that was like what really started igniting my passion and my curiosity for things like this, political stuff like this. So it got to a point I even had to work at the radio station as an intern. So while we were doing political analysis, so I'm deeply involved in politics.
Politics.
Yes, I it's something I'm really fascinated with, and my fascination started back in during my university days. So I got to that decision. I was now I've always been like, why is it that during Christmas time, during Easter time, you hear of all this killing, terrorism? It was increasing as
Yeah.
at that time instead of reducing. And based on what the government promised us, they were not fulfilling their promise. So this was really something to study about. And the more I kept studying, the more I realized that really there were not enough books, not
To
enough
talk about it.
materials. Yes, that talks about it. I've read 1,001 books, and I'm not like, okay, so maybe I may be exaggerating when I mention the numbers. Well, I've read hundreds of books on 9/11, both fiction and non-fiction. This is 9/11 that took place back in 2001. So if the Americans, they are, several years later, 20 years later,
Yeah.
and you're seeing all these books, why is it that this killing, they're happening on daily basis? And it seems like the legacy media are not saying enough about it. So that was when I decided that, well, this is
work
what
on it.
this is what I'll go
So are you
into.
still
So
writing?
very well.
And your writing still centered on the
Yes. Yes.
instability of the
The country.
country. Yes.
Yes. My latest book is The Q List.
Oh, wow. Have
Yes,
you
the
published that
Q.
one?
Yes.
When did you
Published it
publish?
last year.
Okay.
Yes, The Q List. So it actually talks about this journalist who decided to become a voice of truth, where you have lots of evil being perpetrated. And there are some of the, we'll call them mockety mocks, the higher ups, or the top brass, however you choose use your own choice of words for them, actively playing a role in certain disappearances, and is part of this Q list. So if your name is on that queue list, then you are definitely marked for elimination. So this is someone who is asking the question that other legacy media are not asking, and this puts her at risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I decided, that having it in mind that we have the 2027 election coming up, and there are certain questions that we need to start asking. There are some things we need to start doing. There are some, we need to start taking sides. There's no more, you being on the fence. There are certain things that we need to rise up together to fight against, for the sake of our tomorrow, and not just that, the
Yeah.
generation that's coming behind us.
As a person who is writing about the political instability and every other instability in the country, what can
Yeah.
you say about the judiciary system? Is there any justice in our judiciary system in this country?
From, let me say it how I wrote it in my book. Actually, there's not.
There is not.
Yes. There's no justice, and which is glaring. I can use several examples, several, instances. So, to answer your question, based on what I know, based on my, based on what I see happening in the country, I honestly don't believe that there is justice in the judiciary system. I believe it's flawed. Of course, there are some places. We like to say the court is the hope of the last.
Common
Is the
man.
last hope of the common man. So
Yes.
there are, certainly, I would say it's not maybe the system. It's the system itself. I believe that there are some things that needs to go back and be revisited in our constitution. Because take a look at let me give you a case study, that of Sunday Jackson. How would you tell me that you sentence someone who reacted on self-defense? Now, we'd like to say that it's in our constitution that when you kill, while you're fighting for your self-defense, or while you're doing your self-defense, you should not kill. What if you find yourself in a kill or be killed situation? So these are flaws that I believe must be revisited, because there's also the life of another northerner who is at stake right now. His name is Solomon, aka known as Zidane.
Okay.
Yes. So these are so many cases that we can actually, that we need to revisit the constitution for. So yeah, that's why I said that I honestly don't believe that there's full justice with our judiciary system.
Okay. As a visually impaired lady,
Yeah.
I am very impressed in your writing. You said you have written up to 6 books you have already published on Amazon. And I want to use this opportunity to also tell our viewers to go to Amazon and search for her books. Her name is Mary Faith Ijiga.
No, you can look for it with Faith
Faith
Ijiga.
yes.
Or they can go on Seller.
Okay.
Yes.
And look for her book. I would like you to patronize, buy a lot of her books, and even give it out to people to encourage her writing. So, Mary,
Thank you.
Women with disability have been passing through a lot. In fact, there is this gender-based violence against women with disability. Have you been molested in any way before, or attempted to be molested?
Well, I've never been molested, but I've been inappropriately harassed. Yes,
Sexually.
Yes.
So you have been sexually harassed before.
Yes,
Okay.
I have. But I actually, growing up in the kind of family that I grew up in, my dad really installed that confidence in me. So, yeah, growing up in the kind of family I grew up in, my dad installed a kind of confidence in me. So whenever I start observing something like that, I call it out immediately. I don't even hesitate, because there are sometimes I've been in this case where a guy you approached for help starts touching you inappropriately. and he doesn't expect you to say anything about it. Then when you now say something about it, he'll be like, "What are you saying?" Then he starts gaslighting you, trying to make it look like you don't know what you're saying. And then when people gather around, they'll feel like you, the visually impaired lady, you were actually
Lying.
exaggerating the
Yes.
situation. Or since you're the one who is visually impaired, yeah, you didn't know what you experienced. Yes, because it'll be like, how did you see his hand on you? As though you don't have the ability to feel. So these are some of the cases I've experienced, and I had to immediately put it to an end, call it out.
How many times have you been sexually harassed?
Honestly, I can't I don't have any count. I don't have counts, but
Does
I
it mean
can't say it's too much. No, no, no.
But it's not 1, 2, 3?
No, it's not 1, 2, 3. It's something I've experienced over the years.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You have to tell us some of your experiences, because I know sometimes you'll be depressed after the whole thing. Is it not true?
Yeah, no, yeah, yes, it used to make me feel that way. But one thing I've always done is I used to block. Somehow I've been able to train myself or to block some of those experiences, because if I start keeping records, I don't know if I'm going to be able to move on in life. Because like I said, most of those terrible times, they are not as much as the good ones. So I like to focus on those ones instead. But yes, I've definitely faced it. And there was this time I was still very young back then. I was going to sell something for my mom. That was when I was still very, very young, still a child. So this person saw that I had a sight. Oh, person saw that I had a sight condition, and he started creeping behind my back, and he grabbed me like
Grab you from where
from behind.
to where?
I was still a child, like grabbed me close to him from behind.
Okay.
And started behaving inappropriately with me. I think someone, yes, it had to take the intervention of other people, because I was too young. Too
You
young.
started shouting.
Yes. And it was a lonely road actually.
Okay.
Yes. So it had to just fortunately for me that day, someone was coming, and that was how he was able to let go of me, and I continued making my move. That's how I continued. So these and some other experiences that I honestly can't give a detailed story.
Okay, Faith. You are not just a writer, you're also an editor, right?
Yes, I'm an editor, a book
So,
reviewer.
okay. Tell me more about your editing skill and your reviewing skill. You say you also review
Yeah.
books. Okay.
Yeah, I do book reviews. I'm also an editor. I do edit some, books also for people. Like, if you need your book to be edited, you need it to be spelling free, or line by line editing, copy editing. I can do that. Thank God for all my years of writing. At some point, I had to take some lessons in editing, especially for someone who is visually impaired.
Yeah.
So you have to use your screen reader, and it's not easy, but it eventually gets the job done. Yeah.
Yeah. You also write for companies.
Actually, I'm a freelance writer, so people actually pay me for my services directly, not through any company. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Faith, are you into any relationship?
No, I'm not in any relationship at the
Why?
moment. Nothing.
Does it mean that nobody have approached you?
No, it's I guess life is in stages. That's all I can say
Okay.
about that.
Okay. I
Yeah.
want to know.
Okay.
Women with visual impairment have this thing they normally say, that they are highly discriminated when it comes to relationship and marriage. Is that true?
It is, but on the other hand, it's not the same. It's not everybody that has the same experience. So I think the experiences differs.
Yeah, the experience differs when a blind guy go into a relationship with a also a visually impaired lady. But and they
Yeah.
normally say that it's very difficult for a visually impaired lady to go into a relationship with a guy who is not visually impaired. Is that true?
Honestly, that has never been an issue with me.
Okay.
Yes, that has never really been an issue with me. So maybe it's like that for other visually impaired ladies, which that's why I said I'm not disputing any other person's experience. But for me, that really haven't been the case. But I'm not in a relationship right now because, like I said, life is in stages, and I'm currently at this stage where I am I'm building certain areas of my life. Yes, I'm building certain areas
And in
of
this
my life.
stage of your life now, you don't want to go into any relationship with anybody.
Say if if it comes with the person whom my interest aligns with, yes, like you're someone who knows what I do and is knows that and yeah knows that this is not going to be a problem, because there are some people that when they come they tell you you're a writer. What is it? Who is a writer? Go get yourself a day job and all that. And I'm like, this is a full time job for me. So sometimes the interest clash. So when those interests clash, it's sort of like a red flag. Yeah. So that's basically it. So while it's not what I'm actively pursuing, it's not also something that I would chase away if the right person comes. Yeah.
Okay, Faith, I
Yes.
must truly commend you that you are doing amazingly well. Because
Thank
as a
you.
visually impaired lady, you have done so much for yourself. You're a graduate, you're a
Yeah.
writer, you have even written up to 6 books. You are doing amazingly well for yourself. And
Thank you.
I know that there are a lot of visually impaired person out there who are depressed because they don't know the next step to take in life. And there are a lot of people who are not even visually impaired, but yet they are confused. I want you to use this opportunity to talk to such person, encourage them that even if you can do it, they too can also do it.
Okay, well, first off, let me first start by saying that it's not all rosy. Yeah, there have been moments of tears, like real tears. So it's not something I'll tell you, stand up, pick up your shoes, start to continue from where, go up from where you left off and all that, because that would be me being unfair and not being able to relate with what you're going through, because it's difficult no matter where you're doing it. The only thing I would tell you is that to choose choose to continue going regardless of the challenge. Choose to continue going, because there will be hard times when you will cry. But me, I don't have any issues with crying. Whenever it's overwhelming, just sit down, rest, cry your heart out. If you're a prayer person, do pray, get your comfort. Then when you wake up in the morning, you take up from where you stopped, because the year I published 2 books, that was 2025. Nobody believed I could do it because I was going through a lot at the time. I was going through a lot at the time, and even when I looked back, I was like, how did I even get here? So it's a matter of you choosing to go, choosing to continue going in spite of the challenges, because there's no level you will get to in life that you will not have challenges.
Okay,
Yes.
that's good.
Thank you.
I want to use this opportunity to speak to persons not just with visual impairments, but persons with disability who are watching us, and those who are not even persons with disability. They will also help us to share this video so that other persons who are depressed in one way or the other can get encouraged that if Faith Ijiga, despite her visual impairment, can end up being a great writer, an editor, a book reviewer, and have done so much for herself. I believe you too can do the same. There is nothing you cannot do. Develop your heart, develop your mind, and you achieve great things. And I will be ending this show by telling you guide your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. I am Chizoba Orji, your favorite visual impaired presenter. Thank you and see you on the next episode.